Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Conversations with Jonas. I'm really very grateful. Today, my guests are Hala and Elaine.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
I'm very grateful to you girls for being here.
Thank you.
Are with the Build a Dream Incubator.
That's right.
And we're going to get into what that's all about. So let's have a conversation.
Let's do it.
All right, terrific. So, the Build a Dream Incubator, the Dream Cubator,
I like that. I haven't heard that one yet.
it's yours.
Okay.
Let's talk about the beginning of this. Did you cite a need for something like this in the community? Is it something you've always felt compelled? Give me the elevator speech.
Yeah,
Take your
100%.
Take your time.
So like not 30 seconds. Got it.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, the long story short is I started a brand in 2016 called Badass Boot Camp. And the motto was finding success through finding yourself. I, at that point, had lost what I thought was my dream job. I do radio and TV stuff.
Okay.
And, I was going through the roller coaster of like mental health and just the awareness of self and like rebuilding yourself. And at that point, people weren't really talking about self-care. Us as creatives, like we just put ourselves on like the very bottom of our to-do list. And so, in that time, I was really searching for just adult positive friendships, tribe, people who have the same mindset, like-minded individuals. And they're, besides, like as an adult, where are you going for that? It's either you're going to go find people at the bar, which is not productive, or you're going to, if you're looking for resources, maybe, you turn to something like church or something. But, there was no happy medium, and so I started doing all these like workshops and events and pop-ups and retreats and all over the country. And then COVID hit and I turned it into a box service where like, I was, as an influencer, people were sending me a bunch of products to try like in the wellness space. And then I started giving those kits out to essential workers. Then I ended up opening a kiosk with other local wellness curators in Staten Island. At the Empire Outlets. That got pretty popular. I ended up opening up a store at the Empire Outlets. I had that for 3 years. And then top of last year, like March, and they ended up ending our lease very abruptly. And for cases of just like, we were activists, we stood for things, and so so in that moment, I found myself in another place of reinventing and have to figure it out. And a short 6 months later, I ended up launching Build a Dream Incubator. In those 6 months, I really got to experience like, as somebody who's there for my community, like seeing the community now be there for me. And so like we were doing like benefit concerts and like people were raising money. I went to, I found people like Elaine that like, used her expertise to like really like make this hypothetical dream of a place come true. It was a big undertaking. It was something bigger than I've ever done before. And like, to me, I just, it almost didn't feel possible. Because I'm not made of money. I'm not, I'm the most experienced business,
I understand.
Person. I'm just a creative that wanted something and couldn't find it and created it. Like, that's really the truth. And so, one thing leads to the next. And, God really put the right people around me, which this is really the first time as an adult I truly do feel like, I'm being nurtured in the right way. The people that are around me are geniuses in their own right, and we all like balance each other out. And it really took the perfect formula to make this thing a success. We launched it 6 months after the store closed, and it's been history ever since. We've been literally making magic in that space. All types of things been happening. I have an amazing team, and we've just been really working on building ourselves up alongside the business.
Well, the facility is incredible.
Thank you.
It's magical.
It's really...
It's magical.
Well, the day that I came to meet you girls, I said, okay, you have to be guests, so we have to bring attention to
yes.
this. You feel not just the North Shore of Staten Island needs this kind of attention, but do you, I know you offer classes and things like that, right? Everything from cooking, I think you were telling me, Pilates and
All types of stuff.
English as a second language. And do you also do like Zoom classes? Do you do online classes as
We
well?
do some virtual stuff, but I felt like, people were craving the community and connection of it all. So like our expertise is bringing people into the space and having them connect with each other. People that you wouldn't even imagine being under the same roof end up under the same roof.
You might just walk in there to get some work done, or maybe stop in the sauna, or take a fitness class, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're talking with somebody who's doing a podcast, and all of a sudden now you're going to be interviewed, or now you're collaborating with somebody and you're going to host a workshop about financial planning. Like, you walk in there with one thing, and I swear magic happens.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's really just about creating a positive atmosphere, a safe space for just high performing adults that like really, just need to be nurtured. Yeah.
How do you tailor your strategies to various demographics? Like your outreach, you want to help everybody. You want to reach out to everybody. So is there a strategy for maybe nonviolent prisoners who are getting out of prison and need a step up, or maybe handicapped people who need, some guidance to help find some work? Do you have, targeted demographics in a sense? I know you're willing to help everybody that you're able to.
Right. Well, the thing about it is, though I run and opened a wellness-based co-working space, I'm not the wellness expert. I'm just somebody who happens to be on the wellness journey and happy to share the resources
She has
I
an
find.
amazing platform. From meeting her, she has such an amazing platform and gives other experts the opportunity to use her platform for good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we do to respond to your question is we partner with organizations, community leaders, and people with the resources, and we bring it into one place where people know they can find them. And so we're just kind of like the connectors and the hosts of the experience.
Right. For example,
Some things we
the
do
other-
ourselves, like we do
Yeah.
have programming, but like you'll know what's our set programming, which is always like self-love, self-care, self-help, self-awareness, self-development stuff. But anything that's niche, that is for a specific audience, we will find the people and connect and build and collaborate and find, create something that's useful.
Great. Great.
If it doesn't exist, she will create it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've already, you're on the path to creating something that there's certainly a need for.
Yeah.
And the response has largely been, the community-based response, I'm imagining, has been very positive.
Very positive. It's a safe space.
It's a safe
space to grow, explore. I believe incubator is such a perfect word for it. So when you come to a place like the incubator and they have built-in resources, built-in networking, built-in people who are trying to, figure out the same journey, it's beautiful that you could sometimes sit there with somebody, but I never thought of that. We have a beautiful thing called the Dream Tank. It's once a month for adults and once a month for teens.
Okay.
And it's kind of a roundtable discussion. Do you want to tell them a little bit about it?
So, you'll be surprised, no matter what part of your journey you're at, you still need support. You know what I mean? If it's like an expert who needs an audience, we have audience. If it's the person looking to teach a course, this is where you can teach it. And then eventually, like through our own, again, like I said, I still consider myself an amateur business owner. So I'm always actively looking for these things. So as somebody helps me, I'm just like, oh, well, come help these hundreds of people.
Yeah.
They need it too. And they're happy to, it's a kind of like a positive ecosystem. Like each one teach one. Like you might come in as the expert today, but you might be the student tomorrow. And,
Absolutely. That's often the case. A very famous Samuel Goldwyn, who was the owner of Metro Goldwyn Mayer movie studios. He used to say, nobody knows nothing. Meaning it doesn't matter how many movies somebody has made or acted in, you're always a student.
Yeah.
You're
At any
always a
age.
student.
She's in her 30s. I'm almost about to be 50. And the magic even sometimes between us is just so phenomenal, because I feel,
and not even just the magic, but like the similarity
Yeah.
in experience. Like you would think, like I would look at you, you know, walking down the street, and assume you have no idea how I feel, what I've been through, you know, all of that, and then we'll have like a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
next logical question will come up,
Conversation.
and it's like, yeah, and then it's like all of a sudden we realize we're actually very similar.
Yeah.
You know, and just to speak to even her journey within this, like though she like works with me, it's like she's the perfect example of how like this ecosystem works, and it's like a proof of, she's really the proof of concept right here, you know what I mean? Like she came in as the realtor, right? She came in as the realtor. She's the expert. I needed her stuff. When she came in there, she started to express where she was in her life. You know, oh, I need some sustainability. Oh, I'm rebuilding, you know, from a marriage. I'm I'm also finding myself. I kind of shied away from people for a long time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And in the midst of her finding all of this, she realized though she might have her career, she didn't have the retirement plan, she didn't have life insurance, she didn't have this and that and the thing, you know. And it's like these are things that people will assume she has it together and not share, you know. These resources exist, and then now she's the salesperson who sells the resources to the people. So it's like it just always comes full circle if you do it right.
Cyclical, everything.
Yeah.
Alignment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know intention and alignment is kind of what I feel about this, is that now that's why I do love going there, because somehow, some way, I don't know, I just keep calling it magical. I wish people
it
could
is,
understand,
so.
because for me it was also such a healing journey, because she's so right to the point where everybody looks at you and thinks, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, so many things were missing. And to be aligned with people that are trying to maybe do similar things or just grow themselves and empower each other and just be better humans. And that's why I call it magical.
Yeah, well, you know, we are all here to help each other.
Yes.
I absolutely believe that. I think if you could have a conversation with God as you understand him or her and ask why are we all here, the response would be to help each other. That's what I really
Right.
believe. And, yeah, well, I was at Bella Beans.
Love John.
Talking with John and Eliul, and they immediately said, "Oh, you have to talk to Elaine and Hala," and here we are again. It's you know, this sort of confluence of.
But that's the same thing.
you know.
It's like another community person like John, who instead of holding you to the side for himself, wants to share the wealth, the knowledge, the community, the spirit, the energy.
Absolutely, he's a huge proponent of the North Shore.
Yeah.
He grew up
Right.
here, and he's always
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
wanting to.
Yeah.
We've had many conversations, he and I, on how can we make Staten Island more attractive
Exactly.
to people. And you know, I say, well, stop charging $19 to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
That
big part of
easy
it.
pass. We
You
gotta
know,
fix
I
something.
don't want to get off on a tangent, but we're the only borough that has to
Yeah.
pay to come home.
to come home.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Nobody else has to
Yeah.
do that. But again,
No.
you know,
I really feel like especially where we are, like for those people that have not seen Build a Dream, again, magic when you get there. But even that whole Minthorn Street, it just reminds me of this beautiful cobblestone area, like you would go in the village or in the city, and it's so close to the ferry and
very
the
accessible,
train,
yeah.
very accessible to everything.
yeah,
But
very
it's also
much so.
hidden, so it's like if you know, you know. Like,
Right,
you know?
and if you don't know, you totally miss the bus.
Right, but
Literally.
we should know. People should know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the most beautiful view of New York City
Absolutely.
right there.
Yeah.
And
our green
right,
belt and,
our
you
whole
know,
Bay
it's a
Street
beautiful
could be
place.
that cute little town with shops. Get on the ferry, grab some, stop at Project Latte, have some coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
And just
sure.
have built this beautiful ecosystem, friendly community, health, wellness.
Well, they say charity starts at home. So we need Staten Islanders
Yes.
to, become more
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And with children, working with children, the children are the incubator, right?
We also do a lot of those types of programs. We have a company called The Growing Village, and she hosts Little One and Me,
Loved Ones
and Me classes for.
It's like sensory play. So if you are a parent that has a kid that's on the spectrum,
Okay.
you can come learn how to not just tolerate them or pacify them, but actually
Learn
play with
techniques.
them and learn with
Prosper
them
with
and
them.
teach them. And
Right. Even programming that we have coming up, we have a family movie night. We have a ladies reset pajama party where, moms right now are gearing up for this whole holiday season where even the moms that are working or not working, because not working is a full-time job too, dealing with family, children, cooking, cleaning, shopping, getting everything done. So we're hosting a reset night where get ready, gear up. We're going to provide you a night of fun, laughter, just a beautiful refresh, reset to prepare you for what's about to happen. It would be very difficult to stick us in a 9 to 5 because
Yeah.
I don't think we would thrive in that. We were just talking about that on the way here.
Yeah.
We love people. We love growing. We love excitement.
Contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes you thrive.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
I-
also unique to experience this fullness of who you are, so unapologetically. And I think that just to bring it back to Build a Dream, that's kind of the place where all of that can come together. It's why I even thought the concept was so important to make it a one-stop shop that is because, people associate so much of who you are with what you do. And then the moment you're oh, I don't do that anymore, they're
what?
that's what I knew them for. I don't know.
Right. Right.
You don't sing. I thought you were a singer.
Yeah.
And they just don't know where to place you. And not even
Yes.
them, you don't know where
Yes.
to place yourself.
Or you feel like you have to fit in with society and what is expected of you.
Right.
Because when I used to do my social media and stuff like that, thought I needed to fit into the mold of professional realtor. I need to wear suits. I need to have a briefcase. And, I literally was so lost when I first started. And then when I realized, no, just be you. It's okay if...
Yeah, you're the DNA of everything that you do.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the other way around.
And once I figured that out and I was like, no, I can throw you a party as a realtor. I can drive you to showings and we can stop for ice cream and be me. Because that's when you see the genuine me, not the forced version of what I think I'm supposed to be. That's where the magic lies.
So also you literally help people find homes, but you also created a home.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
for people.
I love that, yeah.
To find what they
Themselves,
need
yeah.
to find, and in the process, finding more of what you need. Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a well-oiled, it goes. And
What would you say are the biggest challenges? What's a day at Build a Dream Incubator like?
It's so funny because
I want to say this really quick. One day, right? We had somebody who was running for politics hosting a bingo fundraiser in the front cafe area.
Okay,
Then
I
we
love
had
that area. By
Yes.
the way.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It's
and now
incredible.
Project Latte is going to be opening up a cafe,
Full-time
cafe in January. It's going to be amazing. But as we were hosting a bingo fundraiser for a, possible politician, we had a member,
quilting club in the back.
a quilting club that were doing a
Perfect.
crocheting and wine event. We had somebody filming in the content studio. We had stuff going
A
on in
tattoo
the fitness
podcast.
room, a tattoo podcast. And then all of a sudden, right? They were feeling our vibe in the front. So we said, let's do a 7th inning stretch with the bingo. Let's stand up. So we started playing this song, Follow the Leader, Leader, Leader. And then we started doing a little
conga
conga line. All of a sudden, the whole crochet club gets up and we're all doing a conga line around the entire Build a Dream incubator. We have Inspiration Plaza, a lit up, beautifully landscape decorated outdoor area where you could come sit and have some coffee or do a yoga class, meditate. She's had Lori Love. What's the name of the company again?
5 Borough Cleanup.
5 Borough Cleanup. She set up her brooms and her waste baskets.
Yeah, we did
and
a community cleanup.
And we did a community cleanup. Come and grab a broom and let's go clean up the community.
Right. It's funny because even as she's talking about it, I can't sometimes believe that all that stuff is happening at once.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
I think the thing that sets us apart is that, you know, that space was already like an office space at a point, and during COVID. And it didn't really work out, maybe because of COVID, whatever the case is. But one of the big learning gaps I realized that I wasn't really planning for, because I did a lot of stuff in the city and Brooklyn and all these places, was people in Staten Island actually don't understand what the co-working concept even is. Until you come, they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, you can do this and that and the third. But like up until, like, when I say the
hard to
word co-working
explain.
space, they're like,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Is it
you know?
disconnect?
Yeah. And why we barely use the word co-working space anyway, we use incubator, is because what sets us apart from the co-working model, whether you understand it or not, is we implement the community aspect of it, right? And so, like, you know, we do have tons of programming, but really it is a very productive space. So though it does sound like we have tons of fun,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We do have tons of fun, but like the
there's
work gets
intention
done.
behind
You-
it.
Yeah, the
You're
work gets
achieving
done. There's
things.
accountants that work out of there. There's
Yeah.
people that, you know, there's a construction company that works out of there. Yeah. And so it's, you know,
Yeah.
to me, it's really just like, you know, any given day, you know, anything might be happening, but we all respect the communal aspect of it. So nobody's stepping on each other's toes. You know, we make sure that, you know, the people that do come for their, you know, just productivity or meetings or whatever, don't, you know, clash with the
Yeah.
people that maybe are coming for a dance class or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. So, you know, it really does take like we're like the maestros of the situation in a sense, which you can understand even being in somewhere like Hub 17. It's like,
Sure.
you know, but it's really just being a good judge of character and like you know, just being as like intentional as you can.
Do you have a vision of several dream incubators?
Yeah, I think that the goal.
I know you're building, you know, the
Yeah, I'm like, we just made one year.
right.
And what a year.
I
Yeah.
understand.
She's hosted retreats abroad since I've met her. I mean, actually, you were hosting a retreat for your grand opening
Yes.
to Morocco.
Yes.
So and it's so crazy. We were just in a conversation and no intentions of going. I had hosted a vision board, which everybody needs to know. We're going to host a vision board for the new year event class. And it was so phenomenal. And one of the ladies is a children's book author and wanted to start her own TV show. And she did a vision board and she ended up doing it.
You're clearly women of vision.
Yes.
You know? So do you have, you know, what might be the larger vision for Dream Incubator?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really just, I definitely want to franchise it eventually, or sell the idea to somebody who can. This one will always be the baby, like our baby, but I think it's like so needed to have this resource in other creatively driven spaces. Like the North Shore is a very unique place, you know what I mean? Though I feel like Staten Island's understated for its diversity, we have some of the most diverse you know, culture groups and creatives and entrepreneurs and business types and food and all of that. And like, so there's these like little, you know, small towns everywhere. You know what I mean? You can go to Philly, you can go to Atlanta, you can go all these different places, and like they're also underserved and they're also looking for that hub and that resource for their, you know, economy. Like we really do want to be a pillar in like the economy. Like we want to turn around like in 10 years and look at the North Shore and be like, wow, like we helped that business, we made that business happen, we did that, you know, and that's really the goal for me. Is like I really want to see people that we helped grow and then like take that formula and like change the world. So
I love that. I kind of share that vision. I want to one day say, "Oh, I had Hala and Elena." Really, you did? You know,
They're traveling the world right now, opening up multiple locations.
they're opening
We'll have your
Dream
people call our
Incubator.
people.
They're opening the Morocco.
The Morocco
Dream
branch.
Incubator.
never know.
That's where my train of thought left.
Yes.
That's exactly where I derailed, because in just a simple conversation with her, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing a retreat in Morocco." I'm like, "Okay, my answer is yes." She's like, okay. And then within 2 weeks, I
didn't
was
know who
in
was
Morocco.
going. She
I
didn't
had
know-
no idea who was going, what was doing. I had so much faith in her. Best trip of my
I
life.
can only imagine.
I mean, we did glamping in the desert, hot air balloon rides. I mean, and then all of a sudden another conversation led to another retreat in Honduras. And now we had a leadership event the other night, and now we're talking about something in Greece. And it's just one thing goes to the next, to the next. The dreams, the possibilities are so unbelievable.
Yeah.
That my vision board, I didn't even know her yet. And I had hot air balloon. I had this. I had Lisbon, Portugal on my, I don't even know where that was, but it was on my vision board. And in less than a month, I was able to say, did that, did that, did that, did that, did that. Not even like,
It's not by accident.
no.
Yeah. And it's not
by
because we're made of money.
No,
like
no.
that's the thing about it. It's like, you know, I think I've really like had to become very resourceful in my life. And like now I'm like proud to like show people that really like there are things way more valuable than money.
Yes.
Like, you know, like I've made all this happen with very minimal money.
No.
You know, like
All of us, because looking at our Instagrams and social media and stuff, you would think
like you
that
are
we
the
are
value.
ballers.
You're the value. Yeah.
You would think that we are ballers. We went here, we went there, and most of the things we were splitting this, splitting that, and very intentional of how we spent, but had a magical experience.
Did you have some investors along the
To
way?
say that it pretty much is self-invested, like, you know, family, friends, community, and a good business plan. Like, you know, it was important to me to not walk out of this. Like it could have turned into a very expensive mistake.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
so the same way I offered though I didn't have a Build a Dream to incubate my idea through, like I had at that point built the incubation around me. Like I had the right people, you know, and they all, you know, were all hands on deck to help me get this thing off the ground. And yeah, I mean, yeah, but we are looking for investors for phase two.
Yeah. She absorbs a lot of the expenses, you know, because when you talk about a 5,000 square foot location, you know the rent is not cheap. You know that the bills are not cheap.
incredible.
Right. So please, definitely.
The look of it too, it's so modern and
Right.
you know, it's
No,
really
little touches. Everywhere that you go in there, we have inspirational words everywhere. We try to showcase a local artist every month so that they can try to sell their artwork. There's so much intention and thought into every single detail. I admire her as a woman for sharing her platform and not being, oh, I am Hala Marak. I made this.
Holla.
Hala. She could be, she has a song. She has an album, you know. I don't know if you know that.
Not an album, but yes,
do
it's
now.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does
now.
music, and she has was it Purple Tape? Yeah, so please download the song, everybody. But
She's
so
like the best promoter.
but she could do all of that. Never does she do that.
I've often been mystified at what
How amazing
Sure.
women are. No.
well yeah at that, but how some women are so anti-women, like you know, angry at other women.
They
and-
compete.
and hate, like
There's
you
no
know, I don't-
competition here. It's how
don't-
can I lift you?
Yeah, how can I lift
How
you?
can I lift you?
That's the value.
That is so valuable.
That's the value. That's what I really
Right.
love.
No.
I mean, I just think not even, I'm definitely anti-women. There's definitely a big, you know, catty community type thing like that happens. But I just think also we're in a time and place in the world where it's like, people are like anti-human beings.
Yeah, we don't need any
We're
more
all-
hate.
We're all just like so ready to like,
We don't need any more hate.
yeah, respond and
Can't
whatever.
even turn the TV on. You can't talk about politics. You can't talk about religion. You can't talk about anything. I think back in the day, you could have conversations and agree
Yeah,
to disagree.
discourse, right,
Now
discourse.
you say one wrong thing, your own family member will disown you.
And you're canceled. Yeah.
And you're canceled.
Yeah.
You know, or like, let's say a restaurant owner makes one mistake or a waiter does something, and everybody jumps on the bandwagon,
Yeah.
and you're done.
Yeah.
And it's like,
there's
why?
just like this
heavy.
insight, there this expectation for perfection because people only post their highlights and
Right.
people only, you know, share with it, you know, the
Yep.
the
When
good
they're
things
winning.
and
Right.
you know, so it's like we're all in this like weird like warp
Yes.
and matrix that like now we all want to like live up to. I don't think anyone's perfect. I don't think like you can show me, you know, everyone's gonna put their best foot forward when you first meet them. But like this is in business or dating or friendships or all of that. It's like I'm already gonna expect you to fuck up. Now what kind of crazy you are
Right.
is
You will reveal that
I'll
too.
I'll decide if
revealed.
I'm
That will
down
be
to put up
revealed.
with that. But I know it's something, you know what I mean? We're all something. And so it's just like, you know, identifying people's, you know, strengths and weaknesses and then like playing those things up or learning to manage them, you know, like and it's like though no one's perfect, you're 100% valuable and worth it, you know, and if you're not, you'll literally probably fall off on your own. Like that's not my job.
So if I was to, as I did, come to the location, the Dream Incubator, and say to myself, I want to be a part of this. And I come to you, Hala, and I say, how can I be a part of this? What might you at? Well, what do you do? Right?
Yeah.
You know, and you would help me figure out how to implement
fit.
my existing skills
Yes.
to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
So we actually just launched this quiz. It's called the Dreamer Diagnosis Quiz. So it kind of like narrows things down from the jump. And so I put people in 4 categories. You're either a visionary, you're a strategist, you're a builder, or you're a connector. Right. And so based on that, you know, we have options where you are in your journey, and you can either do a day pass, so you could just try it out, right? Or maybe you just needed to hold, you know, you're not 100% committed to being a remote worker or entrepreneur or creative. You have your daytime job and you're a dad and you're this and that, you know, but like you do want to put yourself in a positive space. You got the day pass. And then we have membership. So if you are ready and you are committed or you do need a space full time, we have 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. access. And then we have 24-hour access for the more creative or, you know, big thinkers or international or the night owl or the whatever.
For somebody who wants to meet clients there.
At night or whatever. Yeah. And so we have the 24 hours and then we have 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then outside of all of that, if you can always just, if you find that this is a space that you can implement something or put something into. We're super collaborative when it comes to like events and workshops and things of that nature. We fill our calendar every month and we send it out to our audience. And you know that it's the same audience that needs this, needs that, needs this. You know, wellness is universal, right? And dreams are universal. And so you can do that. Or if it's something positive, community-based, creative, but it's personal, like say you're even doing your retirement party or, you know, whatever, and you find that this is a place that you can use, it's a multi-purpose space, you can book it. And so we'll see you that way. So we do a bunch of stuff, and then after that we have our service arm. So if it's not just space that you need, like, you know, now that we gave you the low risk, we also have the resources, so you can spend that money and energy into actually building things up. So it could be marketing, it could be business resources, financial resources, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, we have the experts for that you can, you know, we can commission or help you with. And then lastly, we have the educational aspect of it. So, you know, we have all these programs outside of just what we do in the space. We sell them to different schools and organizations and people that may have their own individual audiences but need the actual content. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not just about those 4 walls. It's really just about what do you need, and once you found us, we can, you know,
figure out
facilitate.
how it fits,
Yeah.
Yeah. And just one thing in addition is like the actual rooms, like you can have just a desk, you can have just a space, or if you want an we have
suites.
semi-private suites, we have private suites, we have different rooms to fit different budgets.
Okay.
And that's always circulating, because as somebody grows and maybe now goes to open up their own storefront, now, you know, the Staten Island Urban Center was with us for the whole year, which was an amazing collaboration. They did so phenomenal. Now they did exactly what they were meant to do. They grew, they opened up a storefront. So
Like a
now we
community
have
center,
a
yeah.
community center. So now we have those spots available. So it's not that anybody left because, oh, I don't like that place. No, you did exactly what you were meant to do here.
Right.
And now we're ready for the next person to come in. And then so, that's what we're looking for. Somebody else who's ready to come in and take over some spaces. So, if this show can help, bring people in to come and see
One
it.
of the reasons I wanted
Yeah.
to have you on.
Yeah.
How can people find you? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your web addresses and how can people. First of all, it's 4 Minthorn Street.
It's
correct?
4 Minthorn Street. Yes.
Okay.
It's a magical block right behind Bay Street because a lot of people don't know where it is.
And there is a free public parking lot.
Yes.
So people can feel safe that you're not just circling around that busy area looking, so
Right.
it's very safe.
Bay and Victory.
Yes, it's very well lit, very well kept, very well maintained. Because I think sometimes people have a misconception of, it's by Bay Street or something like that. But you'd be surprised, like how beautiful and safe that spot is. And I
Yeah.
think parking is a massive plus.
Yeah, and then I'm also glad it's on that intersection because all the buses go there.
Yes.
The train stop
train
is
is
right
It's a
there.
Three
major
steps.
thoroughfare.
Yeah, the ferry
Ferry.
is right there, so everything it's super, you can get there. No matter who you are,
Yeah.
where you are, you can get there.
Yeah.
So that's, and if not, we'll send the helicopter or something. Like, we want
Shuttle
you to
bus,
come.
we're working on it.
Yeah, we are working on a shuttle
working
bus,
on a
actually.
shuttle
Right.
bus.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's that, and then you can always go to our website, buildadream.nyc, and you can follow me or the space or Elaine on Instagram at Hala Maroc, at Elaine Gets It Done.
Elaine Gets It Done on Instagram.
Elaine gets it done.
I do.
We're on all the other platforms too. She's mostly on Facebook.
Because of my age. I've heard that Facebook is not for the youngins.
No, but it's effective. Listen,
It
it's
is very
I
effective.
just can't keep up. There's just so many
No,
platforms.
she's.
It's
the
really
TikTok, the
overwhelming.
this, the that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a full job.
Yeah.
It really
Just to keep up
is.
with social media and content and even
Yeah.
trying to, it's a full-time job.
I would like to hire somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's 17 or 18 years old who could help me do all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
But it's
Yeah.
And there
We're
are
happy
people for
to-
that, and we can try to connect you.
Yeah.
Actually, we have
Yeah.
interns. We have other people that we collaborate and work with in the community that we could actually
Great.
help you. See,
Great.
this is what Build a Dream does.
my
That's
dream
it.
is 1,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Right now, that's
Okay.
my dream.
Oh my God, I love that.
can
Okay,
happen. But see, I like that because it's like one
Very
thing we do in our
specific.
account. You should actually come
to Dream Tank.
to Dream Tank. The next one's on the 9th. I don't know. This might not come out by then, but at least for you, it's the next one's on December 9th. It's usually the second Tuesday of the month, and it's at the Space. And that's literally what we address every time. It's like, okay, it's great to have all these big, wonderful dreams, but like, what is your smart goal? And your smart goal is something that's like
Specific,
Attainable.
Yes.
attainable, right?
Yes. So specific, measurable, attainable, timely, you know what I mean? And so like you can literally just tell me, like you just said.
Yeah, that
my
was so
goal,
good.
You literally just did it.
You
It's
did.
Like because then we can actually like measure
attain
it.
that
you
and
know,
measure
like,
it.
And
It's not
yeah.
something like I want 1 million subscribers by the end of the month. It's like, okay, is that really attainable? Is that sustainable? Is that measurable?
Yeah.
This literally was one of the, she has an expert.
Yeah. And
Mel.
then we check in with you every month. Like, did you?
Yeah.
Where are you now?
Yeah.
Did you this? Did you try this? Da-da-da-da.
Yeah,
And-
accountability is huge.
No, it's
we have
huge.
a clarity coach. We have so many experts that sit there with us and literally add their 2 cents in to be like, oh wait, that's what I think I can actually help you.
You know, I'm certainly learning as I go. You know,
Yeah, as we all are.
I'm 60, so I'm
Yes.
always playing catch up with the technology.
Yeah.
You know, I was not raised in a house with a computer or didn't have them in school. I had a phone on the wall in my house.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I grew up. And
Beepers.
a lot of people in my generation feel disconnected.
Yeah.
You know, and I am amazed at people my age who they
have a hold on
They're
it.
trying, yeah.
But you know what though? Like, and this is something that like I've really realized that I love so much. I love intergenerational friendships because it's like there's just so much that I honestly owe being. I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of the game sometimes, like because of the things that I've learned from my older friends. Like I really, and I'm not even just doing it like, let me be friends with some older people. I just like love, I just love to like, I'm like a sponge, you
Yes.
know? And so it's like, you know, the same way we'll like get drunk together is like we also sit there and be like, oh, she's like, you know, back in my day I used to do da 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 da. I'm like, oh, that still probably works. Like we don't know about that, you know. And then vice versa, she'd be like, oh, how did you find the date so fast on the phone? I'm just like, oh, I just da da da.
No. She introduced me. Believe it or not, like, you know, the Chat GPT has been around. I've seen it. I've heard of it, but I was, you know, just like not thinking it. And then all of a sudden, her and Tracy would be like, I made this graph, I made this, and then I'm like, wait, did you just speak that into your phone? They were like, yeah. I'm like, wait, hold up. And they named their Chat GPT. Their Chat GPT has a name. So then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, Chat. You know.
Yeah, well, I did an AI deep dive, a Coursive. It's called Coursive, and I learned about Canva and all the. It literally, to me, was like another planet.
It is.
Know,
I can literally get it. They taught me, I do a shopping. Let's say I want a new diet. I want the Mediterranean diet. Hey, Chat GPT, can you create me, like, tell me what's the best diet for, I need to clean my liver, or I want to do clean gut health. If you're very, they've taught me the more specific I am.
The prompts.
It's what you're asking for. All right. And then, well, do you want us to create you a shopping list? Oh yeah, you know, and it's like,
Do you
even
want us to place the order for you?
Even for real estate. Sometimes when I do my posts, I worked so hard. I care so deeply about my clients and their experience. I really do go above and beyond. Let me tell you, I've gone in and I've cleaned people's houses. I've walked people's dogs. I've scrubbed people's walls.
Sure.
I mean, the things.
And real estate agents don't get paid. Like they're just, once the thing sells, they get paid. So she's really just doing this to do it.
Yeah.
I waste my gas, all of my, you know, resources, and there's a good chance I could spend 6 months with a client and get nothing.
And they buy with somebody else.
Or they go with somebody else, or they change their minds, or whatever. So it is it's the only job that I know that you could put in a 40-hour work week and get nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, back to the Chat GPT. So the fact that I would spend so much time doing this, and now I could say, hey, Chat, I'm posting a house. It's a 3-bedroom. Can you please make this like very professional? And it's like in 3 seconds, I just saved 2 hours of wrecking my brain, and it gives me opportunity to do other things.
And
so
you learned that
from them.
I think like the beauty of it all is in the struggle. Like I'm never gonna take these things for granted. You know, I try to be as present as possible in this specific time, because I always was somebody who was just like, when I, you know, get the Grammy, like, you know, whatever. It's just like, all right, so I'm just not gonna be happy till you get the Grammy. Like I'm not gonna, you know, like, and then you're just, but it's like once you start breaking it up into like, you know, again, like you're not the thing that you're doing. You're just, what is it? What is your strength? Like even with Elaine, like she is a real estate agent. You know, she is a children's performer. But like, what is your actual, what are you actually good at? She's like, I'm good at real estate. No, you're good at talking to people. You're good at promoting. You're good at selling yourself, talent. You know, like, and it's just like, okay, so now we know where to put Elaine. You know, it's like, okay, now how do we create a system where when Elaine brings this in, it goes through some sort of, say, AI or like another department, say, or operations or whatever, and then it goes to the finance department. Before it was just like, Hala has 24 hours. Okay, 1 hour she's putting the hat on, the finance hat on. The next to that she's putting it, and then the next she's gonna try to sell the thing, and then you're not doing anything at 100 and you're never gonna. It's gonna take you so long to get to, like you said, that reward, that influx, that whatever. But now I feel closer than ever because and we see rewards. We do see them. It's just, you know. The more we build and refine the system, the more that we allow people to just stay in their zone of genius instead of expecting them to be something else, including yourself.
Right, sure.
You know, the more effective things become. And I'm really, really seeing that. If I took anything out of this first year of business in this you know, phase of Build a Dream, it's really that. It's like, okay, like I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not like, I didn't invent co-working spaces.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to become a master of it all, like of everything. Like I honestly, if I never see an invoice or this ever again,
You'll be great with that. Yeah.
So it's like my real goal, and I'm sure everybody as a business owner's real goal is, and why they got into things, is to do the thing that they're passionate about. So how can we get to the place where I'm only doing the part I'm passionate about? And so now it's like, okay, now build the tribe around you that actually enjoy the other things. That's like literally what they do. That's what they like. That's what they live and breathe. There's people that we're not all just, the one thing that I don't like about ChatGPT or like social media is like the algorithm aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like it'll literally show you. You know what I mean? It's like, so you think everybody has the same dream and everybody feels the same way and everybody got the same perspective, and that's not true. But it's like, you'll be like, literally, this happened today. We went to some community meeting before this, and one of the questions they like asked as an icebreaker is one thing that you like that people hate, and she was like hugs, and I was like, everybody likes hugs. And then we asked a couple people, they're like, no, I don't really like.
No,
hugs.
it was so
like,
funny.
okay.
That was the icebreaker.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
so my new way of prompting things is how I do it in my life too. Talk to me, like for example, the other day I had to ask like a relationship question. I said, give me the brutally honest truth. Do I tend to X, Y, and Z? And they're like, okay, well, based on da, 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 da,
based on conversations we've had.
Yeah, like you do. Like, but if I asked it without that, it would have been like, no, girl, you're right.
Right.
Like, da, da, da.
But I also feel like that's the same truth about therapy.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
even a real live in-person therapist, right? You go in there, you tell them all your problems, but you're telling them from your perspective.
Right.
So they only know what you've told them.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you have a narcissist husband who's doing all these things wrong, right? Now he goes to another therapist. He's telling them his perspective.
Right.
So to her, she's like, oh, this guy's great. This guy's awesome. I'm like, no,
And his
he's
wife is
not.
unappreciative.
Right. Because it's
no,
exactly
it's really that. It's really
Perception.
that. Yeah, it's perception. But it's
And
like
what you
also
choose to
like
share.
it's the truth. It's the perception, but it's also like it's even in real life, it's the prompt.
Do you feel you're neglecting your artist side of it, or are you manifesting a new realm of it?
I love that you asked it like that. I think I am manifesting a new era of it where I have more control, because people will sell you a dream. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, I've been. If I've had very high highs and very low lows. But no one can sell me anything because I've seen it. I've seen it all, and I've built it.
Seeing the strings.
Yeah, like there's no smoke and mirrors for me. Like, and I almost feel bad sometimes when someone that's like more fairly like new in their journey, because it's like I don't want to be the person to burst their bubble. So you want to hold it with sensitivity, but they're like, oh, this person's gonna and they're gonna invest in and I'm just like.
Okay.
I just wish that you could just see, that you're the thing. It's not that. It's not all that. You know what I mean? And like,
you want to save them.
Yeah.
Fakes.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to deflate them in their excitement.
Exactly,
Right.
because it's like all this wouldn't have happened without my little holla excitement. Like I wouldn't have allowed myself to dream big if I was like, oh, they're a scammer, this or that, all the like the things that has happened. And it's like, to me now at 33, this is like a beautiful place to be, because I'm walking into, I know there's going to be time. I'm creating the system so I can have the time to do the creative and enjoy myself and get back to that. But now I'm not going to be doing it with hoping that somebody's going to make it happen for me, or someone's gonna give me the opportunity. Yeah, maybe it will, maybe I will. Someone will be like, hey, you're the next Beyonce, like come on, or now I have the whole infrastructure set up so that when I do it, I can really come out and do it with a bang, like opposed to being like, damn, well, I really hope, something happens for me, and then now it's just like, no, like you have a formula and now you can implement it into your creativity too. So that's where I see it happening. And, I've matured, a lot, like my creativity has expanded, like my ideas have expanded, time is changing, like trends are changing. So, for me, it's like the only thing that's going to give you longevity is to keep your health, keep your youthfulness, keep your soft heart, and like, just be patient, and then after that, like all the other stuff will fall into place. Like, just hold on to those things. That's the longevity. Like,
Really
so yeah.
And for somebody at that age to have already come to that conclusion, you know what I'm
An
saying?
older soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because she does so much, and that's beautiful, and I feel like her being able to educate younger women or younger children or even older people
that's what I
or
was gonna
even
say.
older crowds, because sometimes listen, I at a certain age, after I had Bubbles all those years, right, a clown, you know what I'm saying, no education, foster child, your insecurity, your self-esteem is so low, and as you get older, you're like, who's gonna hire me? What's my resume? A clown? You know what I'm saying? So when
I do.
So when I was like, what do I even do? I never realized that just my personality alone was planting so many seeds just because of my good karma and my good genuine nature that people felt. So when I was lost and trying to figure out what I was doing, doors magically opened and people invited me to business meetings. And even though I'm great at talking, I didn't even really know what networking was. I didn't know what a networking event was, but it's what I do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who knew there was a name for that? Learning things as an older person that, I don't know, it's possible. And
Well, maturity brings wisdom.
Right.
For sure.
And then even when I took my real estate test, I was like, oh, there's no way I'm never going to pass. And And all of a sudden, a year later, I'm the top producing realtor in Staten Island. And look at what all these years have brought. And look at all the lives I've touched. Now that I'm in such a better healed place, and now that I'm secure and confident, and now that I've know my value, now I know. But I didn't. And then I thought I was old. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy the story that we
Sure.
feed ourselves.
Sure.
So now I'm about to turn 50 next year. Pfft, I used to thought 50 was death. I really did. I was like, put me in a wheelchair, put me on, it's a wrap. It's over. And now I'm like, what? Holla taught me how to put a little hairpiece in. Holla taught me how to look cute. The things, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling.
Tell them that was
I'm
there.
The value of everything.
no, but it's amazing because, and why can't I?
So
Yeah.
funny.
But it is. And I love it. I love it. And I could hang out with a 30-year-old or a 70-year-old and still bring the same energy, learn from either of those people.
Right.
Because we're all like meant to learn and work together and grow.
And grow.
Yeah, even at this age, I'm so excited about what's going to come because I don't even know. Because now I realize even whatever you planned for or even what you thought was going to happen, it might not go any of those ways.
Well, I was talking, my last guest, Nene Iris, you may have seen her. She was on The Voice, a singer.
Okay.
She's wonderful. We talked about if you ever want to hear God laughing, go ahead and make a plan.
Yeah, because
Man plans and God laughs.
No.
Things never turn out.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I always say like pray for the plan, pray on about the plan, and then pray over the plan. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't know.
I love it because I think you're right. God
Yeah,
is
I
laughing.
don't know.
Like, you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
but that's okay too.
Yeah.
Because the result, I get. It's not about the end game, right? It's about the process. Like
But we're so focused on the end game.
Focused on the end game.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, if I just get that Grammy, that.
Yeah.
But it's an empty victory.
because when you get it, then you're chasing the next thing already.
Yeah.
But it was like the whole process was the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The journey,
Right?
the struggle is the joy.
We
Yeah.
we look
That's-
back now. Let's just compare this 1 year. You know what I'm saying? A year ago, we weren't looking at everything, but now that we can look back and say, "Wow, that whole year was some journey,
Yeah.
some adventure." Like,
a
oh
lot
my
happened.
god,
Yeah,
How
yeah.
much you learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even in the tears, even in the bad things that happened, it was like, oh, I think that some of the worst things that have happened in my life that I'm telling you, some bad things, I think those are really the things that defined me and taught me and have helped me to set boundaries and that have taught me to see my value. And I think if I had not gone through this, and I think a lot of people that tell me their stories, those were the strengths. You just don't see it in that moment because you feel like you're in quicksand.
Sure.
And you don't even see the way out. And you can't even fathom. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I made it.
Yeah,
I survived.
but it's weird too because it's like you don't even realize. It's like the human experience is just so
Unbelievable.
Magical.
It's just crazy.
No,
Sometimes,
build a
like,
dream is magic.
No, like you don't even realize how not present you are though. Sometimes, like even just now when I was trying to think. Like she was just like, oh, like all the things that we did this year. I was like. Or someone will be like, oh, what are some of the biggest successes that you guys had this year? I'm like, because you're so just in the thing, you know what I mean? Though I think I'm great at doing a million things. And it's like, I think ADHD, maybe like adult ADHD, to me, whatever it is, it's a strength.
Yes.
But it's also, your strength is also your weakness,
Yes.
where it's just like, no, I really want to master just taking it in and being present and still and observant and just like, just like
Well, you want to look
be,
around
like
at
be,
the moment.
like actually be, you know
Well,
what I mean?
we try whenever we're together, and with
Yeah.
Tracy, she's one of our 3
Amigas, yes.
yeah, amigas, and we do this thing called Grateful Hour.
Yes, and I love that. Yeah.
And wherever we are, like if we're together, and let's say we're hanging out with you guys, or let's say we're at a restaurant or anywhere, and we're like, oh, it's Grateful Hour. Everybody say 3 things that you're grateful for today. Not in big general, like, oh, my life, my grandkids, but today, what are just 3 things you're grateful for?
In the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like sometimes you're like, oh, I had a bad day. Like, I don't know what I could possibly like, no, but you'll find 3 things,
Yeah.
you know?
You know what? You can be grateful that I had a shitty day because
Yeah.
I know things are going to get better and I'm going to feel this, okay? I'm going to feel this shitty day and I'm going to navigate through
Yeah.
it. And
I'm gonna make tomorrow better.
I'm grateful for that. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for the recognition, right, that I can endure this,
Yeah.
that I've learned it's not going to always be this way.
Right.
And it's just the worst moment right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Being actively grateful though is what the
Yeah,
grateful hour does.
that's what I
it's like,
think I'm describing.
if she didn't say what are you grateful for today, we'll be like, oh, our health, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh.
my friends, oh, whatever. But then it's like, yeah, but you can't say that tomorrow now.
Yeah.
If she asks you tomorrow. So it's like what right now in this moment, like what are you grateful
And
for?
it forces you to be in the moment.
Yeah.
It forces you to actually like
Think back.
And that's kind of what I really truly am so grateful to God that he put these women in my life because I think like a lot of us, we get lost. We're chasing something. We're chasing a purpose. We're chasing a dream. We are like questioning ourselves. Are we in the right place? What is this for? Or depends if you get depressed. Why am I even alive? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so normal for people
Yes,
to
it
feel.
is.
It is so normal, way more normal than we think, because we don't all go out in the street and lay it out there. I need to really be careful with who I share my energy with what I share, why am I sharing it? And I was just stuck in that kind of victim mentality because I didn't know any better, or maybe I didn't want to know any better. Maybe I was so stuck on, why me, God, why me? And so that's why I love so much that instead of her judging me for, oh my God, she's telling a freaking story again, or oh my God, she's crying again. If I tell you how much I cried in the beginning of our relationship, I don't know why they're still my friends. Because I probably would have been like, again, we're going to hear the same story. And it's so crazy how now I can get through saying what I want to say and maybe not even shed a tear. Or maybe I'm just shedding for 3 seconds as opposed to, I can't even get through the story.
I know what you're doing, is extremely viable and it has so much value, not just for the community, but really for the world at large, because you can share these tenets and your beliefs, and somebody who might be watching with, they're maybe a little unsure of where to steer their ship. Like they have their shit together, but a lot of strings still kind of
fine-tuning,
floating out there, and you can help them realign. So again, I just want to one more time. The website is
buildadream.nyc.
buildadream.nyc. We're hub17.nyc.
Love that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of weird? I used to live not too far from here, and me and Hub 17 had the same I guess Wi-Fi like name from Spectrum.
Oh.
So I would try to go come in here and I'd like still be connected. And I'm like, how is my
How did that happen?
Wi-Fi working over here? But it was like some weird mishap. I don't know, like that Spectrum did. And
Interesting.
yeah, I thought that was just so funny. So there's always this like weird similarities that keep me connected.
No,
to
we
this
even
place.
used to live in the same building.
Of course.
And we like weren't as connected as we are now. Like it's unbelievable.
No,
Well, everybody,
Yeah.
thanks again. I'm
Conversations
really grateful.
with Jonas.
That was amazing.
Thanks so
Jonas
much.
Worldwide.
Ow, chicka, ow,
Thanks so
ow.
much, girls, really.
Maybe when Build a Dream goes to all their locations, there'll be a built-in Conversations with Jonas
I
studio.
love that.
Hey,
Never know.
anything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Yeah, yeah. So once again, thanks very much, everybody. Be well. All the best.
Thank you.